Imagine you're behind the bar at a cozy dive in Chicago's Wicker Park, wiping down glasses under the warm glow of amber lights, with old-school jazz humming from a beat-up speaker. Out of nowhere, a guy in a slick, tailored suit, eyes sharp as a blade, slams a thick stack of papers onto the counter, making the beer mugs rattle. He barks, "If you're as smart as you think, figure this out." The whole bar goes dead silent. Every pair of eyes locks onto you. You're no lawyer, no CEO, just a 20-year-old bartender who once dreamed of business school but dropped out to take care of your little brother. What do? Walk away? Or step up? This is the moment that changed Emma Carter's life forever. Hey there, folks. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into extraordinary stories. Today, I'm taking you on an unbelievable ride from the chipped wooden counter of the Rusty Anchor to the sky-high boardrooms of downtown Chicago. Emma Carter, a black woman rocking a faded plaid shirt, did something nobody saw coming. She went toe-to-toe with James Thornton, a tech mogul worth billions, and didn't just survive, she reshaped the world of finance. But hold up, this isn't just about money or power. It's about a woman the world underestimated, told she didn't belong, who proved everyone wrong with nothing but her brains and guts. Ever felt overlooked? Passed over because you didn't have the right degree, the right connections, or come from the right place. Emma's been there, but she didn't let that stop her. In those 5 heart-pounding seconds, when James Thornton dared her to crack a $2 billion business strategy, Emma didn't flinch. She grabbed that stack of papers, flipped through page after page, and spotted a flaw that Thornton's high-priced legal team missed. That moment didn't just save a deal, it sparked a revolution. Curious how Emma went from pouring drinks to building a finance app that changed millions of lives. Or what made the US Treasury Department take notice of her. Stick with me, because this story will make you laugh, cry, and believe you can change the world too. Drop a comment right now. Where are you watching from? And have you ever faced a wild challenge like Emma's? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because the next part of this story is even crazier. Let's dive in. Picture this. It's a chilly Thursday night in Chicago's Wicker Park, and the Rusty Anchor is buzzing with its usual crowd. The air smells of craft beer and fried pickles, and a soft jazz tune hums from an old speaker in the corner. Behind the bar, Emma Carter, 20 years old, wipes down a row of pint glasses, her hands moving with the rhythm of someone who's done this 1,000 times. Her faded plaid shirt is rolled up at the sleeves, and her dark eyes flicker with a quiet intensity, like she's always thinking 3 steps ahead. She's not just a bartender, she's a dreamer who once sat in lecture halls at DePaul University, studying business strategy until life pulled her away to care for her sick younger brother. But tonight, in this dimly lit dive bar, Emma's about to step into a moment that will change everything. Enter James Thornton, a 50-year-old tech titan who commands boardrooms like a general on a battlefield. His tailored navy suit looks wildly out of place among the bar's chipped wooden tables, and his sharp blue eyes scan the room with the impatience of a man used to getting what he wants. Thornton Dynamics, his billion-dollar empire, is teetering on the edge of a massive deal, a $2 billion contract with an international conglomerate that could cement his legacy. But there's a problem. The strategy documents are riddled with risks his team can't seem to untangle. James came to the Rusty Anchor to escape the pressure, to think in peace over a glass of bourbon. He's hunched over a stack of papers, scribbling furious red ink notes, when Emma sets a drink in front of him. "Rough night?" she asks, her voice light but curious, noticing the creases in his brow and the way his pen digs into the page. James barely looks up. "You wouldn't get it," he mutters, dismissing her with a wave. But Emma's not one to back down. She glances at the document, a dense grid of numbers and clauses labeled pricing strategy, and spots something off. "That margin looks tight," she says, almost to herself. "If their revenue dips even slightly, you're exposed." James freezes, his pen hovering midair. He turns to her, his expression a mix of irritation and disbelief. "What did you just say?" he snaps. The bar goes quiet. The clink of glasses stops, and even the jazz seems to fade. Every eye is on Emma, who stands her ground, one hand on the bar, the other resting on a damp rag. "I said," she repeats, her voice steady, "your pricing model's vulnerable. If their quarterly revenue drops 5%, they can walk away scot-free, and you're left holding the bag. James's jaw tightens. He's not used to being challenged, especially not by a bartender in a dive bar. "You think you know better than my team?" He scoffs, shoving the papers toward her. "Prove it." Emma doesn't flinch. She pulls the stack closer, her fingers brushing the edges of the pages. The weight of the moment presses down on her. Years of late nights studying business books from the library, piecing together strategies on a duct-taped laptop, all leading to this. She scans the document, her eyes darting over fine print and charts with a speed that makes James's smirk falter. "Here," she says, pointing to a clause buried in the fine print. "This says they can exit if revenue falls below projections for even a single quarter. No penalties, no recourse. And this part about market volatility is so vague, they could claim anything, a rumor, a bad headline, and you're done." "You're not signing a deal. You're signing a trap." The silence in the bar is deafening. A guy at a nearby table forgets his beer is halfway to his mouth. James leans forward, his voice low, almost dangerous. "How do you know this?" Emma meets his gaze, unflinching. "I know because I've had to read the fine print my whole life. When you grow up like I did, you learn fast, miss one detail, and you lose everything." For the first time, James doesn't have a comeback. His eyes narrow, but there's something new in them. Curiosity, maybe even respect. He sits back, folding his arms. "What's your name?" he asks. "Emma Carter," she says, pushing the papers back toward him. "And you're welcome." That moment, under the flickering neon of the rusty anchor, isn't just a clash of wills. It's the spark that lights a fire, one that will take Emma from pouring drinks to rewriting the rules of finance, and James from arrogance to alliance. But how does a bartender with no degree outsmart a billionaire's team? And what happens when the world tries to push her back down? Stick around, because this story's just getting started. The neon sign outside the rusty anchor flickers, casting a soft red glow across the wet pavement of Wicker Park. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of spilled beer and warm pretzels, and the low hum of a saxophone drifts from the corner speaker. The bar's wooden tables are etched with years of initials and beer rings, each one telling a story of late-night laughter or whispered secrets. This is Emma Carter's world, not a glamorous one, but hers. At 20, she's the heartbeat of this dive bar, slinging drinks with a quiet grace that makes you feel like you've known her forever. Her plaid shirt, faded from too many washes, hangs loose over jeans that have seen better days. Her hair is pulled back in a messy bun, and her sneakers squeak faintly against the sticky floor. But don't let the apron fool you. Behind those dark, thoughtful eyes is a mind that once devoured business textbooks, dreaming of boardrooms before life had other plans. Emma was halfway through her sophomore year at DePaul University, majoring in business, when her world tilted. Her younger brother, Liam, only 14, was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease. Medical bills piled up like snow in a Chicago winter, and their single mom, a part-time nurse, couldn't keep up. Emma made a choice. She dropped out, took the bartending gig at the Rusty Anchor, and became Liam's rock, driving him to appointments, cracking jokes to make him smile, and paying for his meds with every tip she earned. At night, when the bar closed, she'd sit in her tiny apartment, lit by a single lamp, studying strategy books borrowed from the library, her old laptop wheezing with every click. She wasn't done learning, she was just doing it her way. Across the bar, James Thornton sits like a king out of his castle. At 50, he's the kind of man who makes rooms feel smaller just by walking in. His navy suit is crisp, his silver watch catching the light with every impatient tap of his fingers. As CEO of Thornton Dynamics, he's built a tech empire from a scrappy startup to a global powerhouse, headquartered in a glass tower downtown. His name is synonymous with deals that reshape industries, and his sharp blue eyes miss nothing. Except, maybe, the cracks in his latest plan. The $2 billion contract with an international conglomerate is his ticket to the history books, but it's unraveling. His team's strategy is shaky, and the pressure is eating him alive. That's why he's here, in a bar that smells like fried onions, far from the polished conference rooms where he's untouchable. He's chasing clarity, or maybe just a moment to breathe. The Rusty Anchor isn't just a backdrop, it's a character in this story. Its creaky stools and flickering lights hold the weight of 1,000 small victories and defeats. For Emma, it's where she's learned to read people, drunk regulars, lonely travelers, and now a billionaire who thinks she's just a bartender. For James, it's a temporary escape from a world where every decision is a chess move. But tonight, their worlds collide. Emma's casual comment about his strategy wasn't just a lucky guess. It was a glimpse into a mind that sees patterns where others see chaos. And James, for all his arrogance, senses it. He's staring at her now, the papers still between them, his smirk gone. This isn't just about a contract anymore. It's about two people from opposite ends of the city about to rewrite each other's stories. What happens when a bartender with nothing to lose takes on a titan with everything to prove? And how does a single moment in a dive bar spark a revolution? Stay with me, because Emma Carter's about to show the world what she's made of. The rusty anchor is frozen in time, the air heavy with anticipation. The jazz tune from the old speaker seems to hold its breath, and the clatter of glasses has vanished. Every eye in the dimly lit Chicago bar is locked on Emma Carter, a 20-year-old bartender who's just been challenged by James Thornton, a billionaire tech mogul, to prove she's more than a pair of hands pouring drinks. The stack of papers, Thornton Dynamics' pricing strategy for a $2 billion deal, sits on the bar counter like a ticking bomb. James leans back on his stool, arms crossed, his sharp blue eyes glinting with skepticism. "Go on," he says, his voice low and taunting. "Show me what you've got." Emma doesn't blink. She pulls the documents closer, her fingers steady despite the weight of a dozen strangers' stares. This is her moment, and she's not about to let it slip. Emma's no stranger to pressure. She's balanced trays of drinks during Friday night rushes, juggled hospital bills for her brother Liam, and taught herself business strategy on a laptop held together by duct tape. Now, as she flips through the pages, her mind moves like a chess player, spotting patterns in the dense rows of numbers and legal jargon. The bar fades away, the sticky floor, the neon buzz, the guy in the corner nursing a warm beer. It's just her and the text. She pauses on a clause buried in a footnote, her brow furrowing. "This is trouble," she says, almost to herself, tapping the page. James raises an eyebrow. "Trouble?" he repeats, half amused, half annoyed. "My team's been over this for weeks. What could you possibly see that they didn't?" Emma looks up, her gaze unflinching. "Your team missed a kill switch," she says, her voice clear and calm. "Right here, in section 4.2, it says your partner can pull out if their quarterly revenue dips 5% below projections. No penalties, no arbitration." And this phrase, market volatility, it's so vague they could trigger it with a bad press release. A rumor about their stock, a fake tweet, and they're gone. You're not just exposed, you're handing them a loaded gun. The words land like a punch. James's smirk vanishes, replaced by a flicker of doubt. He leans forward, snatching the papers to read the clause himself. His eyes scan the lines, and the color drains from his face. She's right. The bar is still silent, but now it's a different kind of quiet. Less shock, more awe. A woman at a nearby table whispers to her friend, "Who is she?" Emma doesn't hear it. She's still pointing at the page, breaking down the math. Your pricing model assumes stable growth, but their projections are inflated. If their revenue drops, and it will, based on their last 2 quarters, you're stuck with a deal that's dead on arrival. You need a safeguard, something like a phased escrow or a penalty clause, or you're betting $2 billion on hope. James stares at her, his mouth opening, then closing. For the first time in years, he's speechless. This isn't just a bartender talking, this is someone who sees the game better than his Ivy League advisors. "How do you know this?" he finally asks, his voice softer now, almost curious. Emma shrugs, wiping her hands on her apron. "I've spent my life reading the fine print, leases, medical bills, loan agreements. When you're broke, you learn to spot traps, because no one's coming to save you." Her words carry no self-pity, just truth. James nods slowly, his mind racing. He's built an empire on spotting talent, and right now, he's looking at a diamond in a dive bar. "Emma Carter, right?" he says, testing her name like it's a new investment. She nods. "Come to my office tomorrow." "We need to talk." Emma tilts her head, a faint smile breaking through. "Only if you're ready to listen. What happens when a billionaire realizes he's been outsmarted by a bartender? And how does Emma take this spark of recognition and turn it into a revolution? Keep watching, because this is just the beginning. The morning sun glints off the glass towers of downtown Chicago, turning the skyline into a mosaic of light and steel. Inside the sleek headquarters of Thornton Dynamics on the 42nd floor, Emma Carter steps out of an elevator that hums with quiet efficiency. Her sneakers squeak against the polished marble, and her old backpack, patched with duct tape, looks wildly out of place among the chrome and leather of the corporate world. Yesterday, she was pouring beers at the Rusty Anchor. Today, she's here at James Thornton's invitation, walking into a room where billion-dollar deals are born. Her heart races, but her face stays calm, her dark eyes scanning the space like she's memorizing every detail. This isn't just a meeting, it's the start of something bigger, something that could change everything. James Thornton waits in a conference room with walls of glass and a view that stretches to Lake Michigan. He's traded his bar stool slouch for a crisp suit, but there's a new energy in his posture, like a man who's found a missing piece to a puzzle. "Emma," he says, standing to greet her, his voice warmer than it was last night. "I want you to help us build something, a financial app, Grow Easy, to help regular people manage money, avoid debt traps. You saw through my strategy in 10 seconds flat. I need that kind of clarity on this." Emma nods, her mind already turning. She's spent years watching her mom juggle bills, seen neighbors fall into payday loan scams. An app like this, it's not just a project, it's personal. But not everyone's thrilled about Emma's arrival. Olivia Grant, Thornton Dynamics' director of strategy, leans against the conference table, her tailored blazer as sharp as her smile. At 38, Olivia's climbed the corporate ladder with an Ivy League degree and a knack for outmaneuvering rivals. To her, Emma's a threat, a bartender with no credentials, no business card, just a knack for spotting flaws. "Interesting choice," Olivia says, her tone polite but icy, eyeing Emma's backpack like it's an insult. "I'm sure you'll bring a unique perspective." Emma catches the jab but doesn't bite. She slides into a chair, her voice steady. "I'm here to make this app work for people who don't have MBAs." That's my perspective. The days that follow are a whirlwind. Emma dives into the project, working late in a corner of the innovation lab, her beat-up laptop glowing amidst sleek monitors. She sketches wireframes for Grow Easy, designing features like alerts for hidden bank fees or tips to dodge predatory loans. Her ideas are simple but sharp, rooted in the struggles she's seen up close. Families like hers, stretched thin by systems built to trip them up. She leads brainstorming sessions with developers, asking questions more than giving orders, her quiet confidence earning nods from the team. But Olivia's shadow looms. Memos go unanswered. Meeting invites accidentally miss Emma's inbox, and whispers ripple through the halls. Who does she think she is? Emma feels the resistance, but she doesn't flinch. At night, in her cramped apartment, she studies coding tutorials, fueled by instant coffee and determination. Her brother Liam, sprawled on the couch with his math homework, looks up. "You're gonna show him, right?" he asks, his voice hopeful. Emma smiles, ruffling his hair. "Bet on it." Back at Thornton Dynamics, James watches her work, his faith in her growing. But the tension with Olivia is a ticking clock, and Emma knows it. She's not just building an app. She's building a place for herself in a world that doesn't want her to fit. Can Emma turn her vision into reality against the odds? And what happens when the knives come out in the corporate game? Stay tuned, because this fight's just heating up. The innovation lab at Thornton Dynamics hums with the soft buzz of computers and the faint scent of fresh coffee. Sunlight streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, bathing the room in a warm glow that reflects off sleek monitors and whiteboards scribbled with code. Emma Carter stands at the front, her beat-up laptop plugged into a projector that flickers slightly, as if nervous for what's about to happen. Her plaid shirt is swapped for a thrifted navy blazer, the only professional thing she owns, but her sneakers still squeak against the polished floor. At 20, she's the youngest person here, the only one without a degree, and definitely the only one who was pouring beers at the Rusty Anchor just weeks ago. But today, none of that matters. Today, Emma's about to show the world, or at least this room of developers, what Grow Easy can do. The team, a mix of coders in hoodies and designers with trendy glasses, leans forward in their chairs. James Thornton sits in the back, his sharp eyes watching not just the screen, but Emma herself. Olivia Grant, the director of strategy who's made no secret of her doubts, hovers near the door, her arms crossed, her smile thin as a blade. Emma takes a deep breath, her voice steady despite the knot in her stomach. Grow Easy isn't just an app, she begins, clicking to the first slide. A clean interface with bold buttons and plain language. It's a lifeline for people who've been burned by fine print and hidden fees. People like my mom, who lost half her paycheck to a bank's service charge she didn't see coming. The room is quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that means they're listening. She launches the demo, walking them through a scenario. A single mom gets a notification about a $35 overdraft fee. Grow Easy flags it, explains her right to dispute it, and shows her how to file a claim in 3 clicks. Another scenario, a college student avoids a predatory loan by comparing terms in real time. Emma's voice grows stronger with each click, her passion filling the room. This isn't about making rich people richer, she says. It's about giving everyone a fair shot. When the demo ends, the silence breaks into applause. Not polite, but real, the kind that echoes. A developer named Sam, with a beard and a Cubs cap, grins. That's tight, he says. You built this on that laptop? Emma laughs, nodding. And a lot of late-night coffee. The real magic happens a week later at a community center in Chicago's South Side. Emma stands in a cramped gym, the air smelling of sweat and old wood, presenting Grow Easy to a crowd of locals. Bus drivers, cashiers, single parents. A woman named Maria, her hands calloused from years at a factory, shares her story. Grow Easy helped her save $200 by spotting a shady loan fee. I thought I was stuck, Maria says, her voice cracking. This app gave me a way out. The crowd claps, and Emma feels her throat tighten. This is why she's here. James, who's been watching from the back, steps forward. Emma Carter, he says, his voice carrying over the noise, is the future of this company. The words hit hard, and even Olivia's icy stare can't dim the moment. This isn't just a win, it's a spark that could light up the internet. But can Emma keep the fire burning when the stakes get higher? Stay with us, because the next chapter's even bigger. The air in Thornton Dynamics' 42nd floor conference room feels like it's charged with electricity, the kind that hums before a storm. The Chicago skyline sparkles through the glass walls, but inside, the mood is anything but bright. Emma Carter stands at the head of a long, polished table, her thrifted blazer slightly wrinkled, her sneakers silent against the carpet. At 20, she's just led Grow Easy to a standing ovation in the Innovation Lab, but today's meeting feels different, colder, sharper. The team is gathered, laptops open, but there's a tension that wasn't there before. Olivia Grant, the director of strategy, sits near the front, her manicured nails tapping the table, her smile tight as a coiled spring. James Thornton, the CEO, leans back in his chair, his sharp blue eyes scanning the room, sensing trouble, but not yet naming it. Emma's about to learn that success comes with enemies, and they don't always fight fair. It starts with a headline, one that lands like a grenade. Emma's phone buzzes during a break, and she glances at the screen. A tech blog blares. Thornton Dynamics' new star, a bartender with no credentials? The article, dripping with snark, questions her role in Grow Easy, hinting she's a PR stunt, not a leader. Anonymous sources, clearly inside the company, call her unqualified and a risk to investors. Emma's stomach twists, but she keeps her face neutral, slipping the phone back into her pocket. She knows who's behind this. Olivia's been icing her out for weeks. Missed emails, sidelined ideas, subtle digs in meetings. But this is war. And Emma's not the only one who sees it. A developer, Sam, catches her eye, mouthing, "You got this." She nods, but her mind's racing, piecing together a bigger puzzle. Late that night, in the quiet of the Innovation Lab, Emma stays behind, her old laptop glowing. She's digging, cross-referencing emails, checking server logs, following a hunch. And then she finds it, a chain of messages between Olivia and a VP at a rival firm, Nexus Global, Thornton Dynamics' competitor. The emails are coded, but clear enough. Olivia's been feeding Nexus details about the $2 billion international deal, including a plan to tank Thornton's stock with a fake earnings leak. If the stock drops, Nexus can trigger the deal's exit clause, the same one Emma spotted at the Rusty Anchor. Olivia's not just sabotaging Emma, she's betraying the entire company. Emma's hands shake as she saves the evidence, her jaw tight. This isn't about her anymore, it's about protecting what she's built. The The next morning, the conference room is packed. Olivia's presenting a revised Grow Easy rollout, one that strips Emma's vision to a bare-bones beta, claiming it's safer for the brand. Emma stands, her voice cutting through Olivia's polished slide deck. "This isn't about safety," she says, her eyes locked on Olivia. "It's about control, and I have proof you're playing a different game." The room gasps as Emma projects the emails onto the screen, each line a dagger. Olivia's face drains of color, her voice stammering. "This is fabricated," she snaps, but the evidence is ironclad. James rises, his voice like thunder. "Olivia, you're done." He turns to Emma, his expression a mix of fury and respect. "You saved us, again. This isn't just a showdown, it's a turning point." But can Emma rise above the fallout and lead Grow Easy to the world? Keep watching, because the stakes are about to soar. The auditorium at Thornton Dynamics' Chicago headquarters pulses with anticipation, its sleek design a far cry from the sticky floors of the Rusty Anchor. Rows of seats are packed with investors in tailored suits, reporters clutching notepads, and tech insiders whispering about the young woman who's turned the company upside down. Overhead lights dim, and a massive screen glows with the Grow Easy logo, clean, bold, and unapologetic, just like its creator. Emma Carter steps onto the stage, her thrifted blazer swapped for a simple black sweater, her sneakers still defiantly scuffed. At 20, she's no longer the bartender who stumbled into a billionaire's challenge. She's the newly appointed Director of Strategic Innovation, ready to launch an app that could change millions of lives. Her heart pounds, but her voice, when it comes, is steady as steel. Emma was handed a script by the PR team hours ago, polished, safe, full of corporate buzzwords like synergy and disruption. She read it once, then tossed it aside. "That's not my story," she told James Thornton, who raised an eyebrow but didn't argue. Now, standing before a sea of faces, she speaks from the heart. "My name is Emma Carter," she begins, her words clear in the hushed room. "I grew up in a Chicago apartment where the heat didn't always work. I watched my mom count pennies to pay bills, saw neighbors lose homes to loans they didn't understand. Grow Easy isn't just an app, it's a tool to fight back. It's for every person who's been told they don't deserve a fair shot." The crowd leans in, caught by her raw honesty. She clicks a remote, and the screen shows Grow Easy in action. A bus driver disputing a bank fee, a student dodging a predatory loan, all in plain language, all in seconds. The applause that follows isn't just loud, it's electric, a wave of belief that crashes over the room. Reporters' pens fly across pages, phones light up with tweets. By evening, hashtag Grow Easy trends nationwide, and a message from the U.S. Treasury Department lands in James's inbox proposing a partnership to integrate the app into community financial literacy programs. Emma's vision, born in a dive bar, is now a movement, but for her, the real victory is personal. That night, she sits in her apartment, Liam asleep on the couch, and opens a letter from DePaul University. Her re-enrollment is approved, with a full scholarship. "I'm going back," she tells her mom over the phone, her voice thick. "Not for a degree to prove myself, but to finish what I started, my way." Back at Thornton Dynamics, James calls her into his office, a rare smile breaking through his usual intensity. "You've done more than lead a project," he says, sliding a nameplate across his desk. It reads, "Emma Carter, Director of Strategic Innovation. You've changed how we see talent." Emma nods, but her mind's already on the next fight. Scaling Grow Easy, reaching more people, rewriting the rules. She's not just a leader now. She's a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to be invisible. Can Emma carry this torch and light the way for millions? Or will the weight of her own legend pull her down? Stay with us, because her story's far from over. The stage at the New York Financial Empowerment Summit is bathed in soft white light, a stark contrast to the gritty neon of the Rusty Anchor where Emma Carter's journey began. The auditorium hums with the quiet energy of 1,000 attendees, community leaders, educators, and everyday people hungry for change. Emma steps to the podium, her simple black sweater and scuffed sneakers standing out against the polished suits around her. At 20, she's no longer just a bartender who outsmarted a billionaire. She's the architect of Grow Easy, an app now transforming lives across 35 states. Her hands grip the podium, but her voice, when it rings out, is clear and unshakable, carrying the weight of a dream that's become a movement. Money shouldn't be a trap, Emma begins, her words slicing through the room's murmur. I grew up watching my mom stretch every dollar, saw neighbors lose everything to a single bad loan. Grow Easy is for them, for the bus driver who deserves to keep his paycheck, for the student who shouldn't have to choose between debt and dreams. She pauses, her dark eyes sweeping the crowd. This isn't about finance. It's about freedom. The room erupts in applause, not the polite kind, but the kind that comes from people who felt the same weight she's describing. On a screen behind her, stories flash. A Miami truck driver who paid off a $3,000 credit card debt using Grow Easy's budgeting tools. A Seattle single mom who avoided eviction by disputing a hidden lease fee. A Detroit student who sidestepped a predatory loan. Each face, each story, is proof that Emma's vision is no longer a sketch on her duct-taped laptop. It's a lifeline. Grow Easy's reach is staggering. Libraries in Ohio offer it on public computers. Community centers in Texas teach it in workshops. Probation offices in California use it to help former inmates rebuild. The app's simple design, clear alerts, plain language, real-world scenarios, has made it a household name, with over 1 million downloads in 6 months. Social media buzzes with hashtag #GrowEasy, users sharing screenshots of saved fees or paid-off bills. But for Emma, the numbers are just a start. At the summit, she announces the Money Smart Foundation, a nonprofit she's founded to fund financial literacy grants for youth in underserved communities. Knowledge is power, she says, and I want every kid to hold that power in their hands. After her speech, the crowd surges forward, eager to shake her hand or share their own stories. A retired teacher from Brooklyn tells Emma how Grow Easy helped her avoid a scam. A teenager in a hoodie says he used it to budget his first paycheck. Emma listens to each one, her throat tight with gratitude. Later, in a quiet hotel room overlooking Manhattan's twinkling lights, she calls her brother Liam. "We did it," she whispers, her voice breaking. "It's real now." Liam, ever her cheerleader, laughs. "You're basically famous, Em." She smiles, but fame isn't her goal. Impact is. Emma's story is spreading, but the road ahead isn't smooth. Can she keep pushing when the world's eyes are on her? Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning of her legacy. The Chicago wind whips through the plaza outside Thornton Dynamics' headquarters, tugging at the microphones clustered on a makeshift podium. A crowd of reporters, their cameras flashing like lightning, presses forward, their questions already sharp with suspicion. Emma Carter stands alone under the gray morning sky, her black sweater and scuffed sneakers, a quiet rebellion against the polished chaos around her. At 20, she's transformed Grow Easy into a nationwide lifeline, helping millions dodge financial traps. But today, her dream is under attack. A scathing article, published by a major tech outlet, accuses Grow Easy of secretly harvesting user data for profit, a lie that spread like wildfire online, sparking outrage and hashtags like #GrowEasyScam. Emma's heart hammers, but her face is calm, her dark eyes steady. She's faced worse than this, and she's not backing down now. The crisis hit 2 days ago, when Emma woke to a flood of notifications. The article, citing anonymous insiders, painted her as a naive pawn in a corporate scheme, her app a wolf in sheep's clothing. Social media exploded. Some users vowed to delete Grow Easy, others demanded answers. At Thornton Dynamics, the boardroom buzzed with panic. Investors called for damage control, suggesting Emma step back to limit exposure. James Thornton, the CEO who once bet on her in a dive bar, stood firm. "Handle it your way," he told her, his voice gruff but trusting. Emma knew silence wasn't an option. Lies thrive in the dark, and she'd spent her life fighting for truth, whether it was reading fine print for her mom or building an app for the underserved. This was just another fight. Now, facing the press, Emma grips the podium, her voice cutting through the wind. "Grow Easy was built to protect people, not exploit them," she says, her words clear and unwavering. "The accusations are false, and I'm here to prove it." She holds up a USB drive, small but heavy with meaning. "This contains Grow Easy's source code. We're making it public today so anyone, journalists, coders, you, can see exactly what we do. No hidden trackers, no data sales." Just tools to help you keep your money. The crowd murmurs, cameras zooming in. Emma clicks a remote, and a screen behind her lights up, showing lines of code scrolling openly. A tech reporter in the front row nods, scribbling furiously. Within hours, the narrative shifts. Independent developers verify the code, tweeting #GrowEasyClean. Users rally online, sharing stories of how the app saved them from debt, drowning out the skeptics with #TrustGrowEasy. A single mom posts a video, tearfully thanking Emma for helping her avoid a loan shark. By evening, the original article's publisher issues a retraction, citing unverified sources. Emma's phone buzzes with a text from her brother Liam. "You're a boss, Em." She smiles, exhausted but unbroken. In Thornton Dynamics' quiet lab, James finds her staring at the city lights. "You turned a crisis into a triumph," he says. "I didn't do it alone," Emma replies. "The truth did. Can Emma keep leading when the spotlight burns brighter?" Stay with us, because her story's climbing higher. The rusty anchor hasn't changed much since Emma Carter first stood behind its bar, pouring beers and dodging spills. The neon sign still buzzes, casting a warm red glow over the cracked sidewalk of Chicago's Wicker Park. Inside, the air smells of fried pickles and old wood, and a scratched jukebox hums a blues tune in the corner. Emma slides onto a bar stool, her sneakers brushing the familiar sticky floor. She's 20, but feels older now. Her black sweater and scuffed shoes a quiet nod to the girl who started here, before Grow Easy became a nationwide movement. Tonight she's not a director at Thornton Dynamics or a speaker at national summits. She's just Emma, coming home to where it all began, her heart full of gratitude and a little bit of awe. A young bartender, Mia, barely 18, wipes down the counter with a nervous energy. Her braided hair swings as she moves, and her eyes widen when she recognizes Emma. You're her, right?" Mia stammers, clutching a rag. "The Grow Easy lady?" Emma smiles, soft and genuine. "Just Emma," she says. Mia hesitates, then blurts out her story. "Your app, it saved me. I was drowning in student loan debt, didn't know the fees were eating me alive. Grow Easy showed me how to refinance, saved me hundreds. I'm still here, but I'm not stuck anymore." Her voice cracks, and Emma reaches out, squeezing her hand. "You did that yourself, Mia," she says. "I just gave you the map." Mia's eyes shine, and for a moment the bar feels like sacred ground, a place where dreams don't just start, but come full circle. James Thornton walks in, his suit jacket slung over one shoulder, looking less like a billionaire and more like a man who's learned to listen. He slides onto the stool next to Emma, ordering 2 beers with a nod to Mia. "To the ones who prove them wrong," he says, raising his glass. Emma clinks hers against it, her smile bittersweet. "To the ones who never got a first look," she adds. They drink in silence, the weight of their journey settling between them. From a tense challenge in this very bar to a partnership that's changed millions of lives, James breaks the quiet. "DePaul called me," he says. "They're naming a scholarship after you. Full ride for kids like you were. Smart, scrappy, overlooked." Emma's breath catches. "That's real?" she asks. James nods. "It's yours." Later, alone in her apartment, Emma sits at her kitchen table, Liam snoring on the couch nearby. Her old laptop glows as she types the first lines of a book, a guide to financial freedom, woven with her story of growing up poor, fighting for every chance, and building Grow Easy from nothing. She's not writing for fame, she's writing for the Mias of the world, for every kid who needs to know they're enough. The city outside hums, its lights flickering like stars. Emma's DSAN isn't just an app or a scholarship, it's the belief that anyone can rise if given a spark. Will Emma's legacy endure as new challenges loom? Stay with us, because her story's still unfolding. The rusty anchor fades into the soft hum of a Chicago night, its neon sign flickering like a heartbeat against the dark. Emma Carter's story, from a bartender pouring beers to a visionary changing lives with Grow Easy, lingers in the air like the final note of a blues song. She started with nothing but grit and a sharp mind, outsmarting a billionaire, building an app that's now in millions of hands, and leaving a legacy that stretches from a dive bar to the halls of DePaul University. But this isn't just Emma's story. It's a spark for all of us, a reminder that the world can't hold you back if you refuse to stay small. So, let's wrap this up with a challenge, a connection, and a way to make Emma's courage your own. First, let's talk to each other. Drop a comment below and tell me, where are you watching this from? Chicago like Emma? A small town halfway across the world. And here's the big one. Have you ever faced a moment when someone doubted you, told you you didn't belong? How did you push through? Your story matters, and this community is all about lifting each other up. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because tomorrow we're diving into another tale of someone who defied the odds. Sharing this video with a friend could be the spark they need to take their own leap. Let's keep this movement growing, one click at a time. Now, let's get real about what Emma's journey teaches us. You don't need a fancy degree or a corner office to make a difference. Emma started with a library card, a beat-up laptop, and a fire in her gut. She saw traps in fine print because she'd lived them, bills piling up, loans that choke. Her secret? She never stopped learning, never stopped asking why, and never let anyone's doubt drown out her truth. That's your takeaway. Start small, but start now. Check one contract before you sign it, maybe your phone bill or a gym membership. Hidden fees love ignorance. Don't give them the chance. Make a budget, even if it's just on a napkin. Track your spending for 1 week, and you'll see where your money's really going. Or help someone else. Show a friend how to spot a scam, or share a tip that saved you cash. Every step you take toward financial clarity is a step toward freedom, just like Emma fought for. Emma's story proves that power isn't handed out. It's built, one choice at a time. You don't need to wait for permission or a perfect moment. If a 20-year-old bartender can stand up to a billionaire, launch an app that changes lives, and inspire a nation, what's stopping you from taking your next step? Maybe it's learning a new skill, speaking up when you're overlooked, or just refusing to let fear call the shots. The world might not see you yet, but like Emma, you can make it look twice. So, grab that spark she lit and light your own path. Thank you for being here, for believing in stories that matter. Let's keep this fire burning. Comment, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comments how you're going to take action today. See you in the next video, where more heroes like Emma are waiting to inspire you.